All right, let's talk about job interviews. We're going to focus on the two questions that can pretty much make or break the whole thing. If you can get these right, you are way ahead of the game. So let's jump in.
There it is, the classic opener. We've all been there, right? The interview kicks off and they hit you with this one. It feels like a test, but you know what? It's actually the biggest opportunity you have to frame the entire conversation. And we're going to show you exactly how to do that.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to nail the art of telling your professional story. Then we'll talk about how to frame your education and experience so it has real punch. We'll even give your vocabulary a little upgrade before we tie it all together with the right mindset. Okay, so what's the goal here? It is not to just read off the bullet points from your resume. Nope. The goal is to weave those facts into a compelling story that makes the interviewer think, wow, this is the person we've been looking for. And this, right here, is the most important shift you can make. You're not just a collection of jobs and degrees. You are the main character in your own career story. This interview, it's your chance to show them why this job is the perfect next chapter. It's all about making a human connection. This whole storytelling idea applies to everything, and we're going to start with your education. It's just not enough to say what degree you have. We're going to frame it in a way that shows its real-world value. Look at this. This is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. On the left, you have a simple fact. On the right, you have a story with a purpose. See the difference? You're not just saying what you studied, you're explaining why it matters and connecting it directly to the skills that they need. So let's just make sure we're on the same page with some of these terms. Using active language, like saying, I majored in business, just sounds so much more confident and intentional, doesn't it? And your minor? Well, that adds a whole other layer to your story. I mean, think about it. A computer science major with a minor in psychology, that tells me you've got both the technical chops and you know how to work with people. That's a powerful combo. Now, this phrase right here, course of study, this can be your secret weapon. It's broader than just your major. It lets you tell the story of why you chose your classes and what specific skills you were trying to build. And hey, don't just stop with your formal degree. If you've been to any recent seminars or conferences, or even if you just follow key industry news, mention it. It shows you're proactive, you're passionate, and that you're committed to growing. And that's what leads to real results. Okay, let's switch gears to your work experience. Your goal here isn't to just list your old job duties. It's to show your impact. And the absolute best way to do that is to get specific and use numbers to prove your value. First things first, get the phrase responsible for out of your vocabulary. Instead, kick off your sentences with strong action verbs. I supervised a team of 5. I coordinated the project launch. I implemented a new process. It shows you're a doer, someone who gets things done. Okay, look at this. 5%. What does that even mean? Well, by itself, not much. But when you wrap it in the right context, a number like this becomes the hero of your story. It's hard proof of what you achieved. And there's a really simple way to present it. And here it is. It's super simple, but so effective. First, state your action. I implemented a new customer feedback system. Then, describe the strategy. And finally, quantify the result, which lowered our customer churn rate by 5%. Just remember that. Action, strategy, result. It's a total game changer. Now that we've got our stories straight, let's add a little polish. Picking the right words can take your answers from just okay to really great. And we're not talking about complicated words, just ones that sound professional and precise. Take a word like hence. It might sound a little fancy, but really, it's just a smarter, more professional alternative to so. It's a really simple, easy upgrade to your language. Pursued is another fantastic one. You didn't just get a promotion, you pursued it. The word itself suggests you're ambitious, that you're driven, that you go after what you want. And in that same vein, you have strive. This word is all about communicating effort and commitment. Saying, I always strive to exceed expectations sounds so much stronger than just, I try to do a good job. It shows you're always pushing yourself. Finally, breadth of experience. This phrase is perfect if you have a background that's a little varied. It helps you frame that diversity as a major strength. For example, my breadth of experience in both tech and customer service helps me see the big picture. Okay, let's bring it all home with the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, the right mindset. These are the principles that should be the foundation for every single answer you give. It really just comes down to these three things. 1. Be specific and use numbers. 2. Always stay positive, especially about past jobs. And 3. Show that you're always hungry to learn and grow.
And this one is absolutely critical. You should never, ever speak badly about a former boss or company. Seriously, if they ask why you left a job, frame it as you seeking a new challenge, not running away from a bad situation. Always focus on what you learned and what you're excited about for the future. You see, with this whole approach, you're not just ready for the big, obvious questions. You're ready for any question they throw at you. Because when you know how to tell your story, prove your impact, and stay positive, you're not just answering questions anymore. You're showing them exactly who you are and the value you bring. Now you're ready.